Hello, today I want to answer the question, is it good or is it just aesthetic? Is it just cute? Does it just look nice on a vanity or is it actually good quality? And I've kind of been like mulling around this idea for a video for a while now because I feel like there is a certain look that we have seen a lot in beauty products lately. I picture a lot of similar colors in packaging, and I feel like a lot of the IT brands share a very similar aesthetic at the moment, and I want to talk through that while we apply some of them to my face and decide which ones are actually worth the hype, because some of them are and some of them are not. So first things first, I have to start with a lip balm. I feel like my lips are really dry right now. And when I think of aesthetic, hyped up, cute lip balms, I think of most lip balms that are in this packaging. I feel like this style of squeeze tube has just been everywhere. And specifically these from Summer Fridays, I think are really cute. These and the ones from Rhode, I think I see probably the most. And actually, I do like both. I think they're both worth the hype. I think this really hydrates my lips. So we'll put this on first so we can kind of hydrate throughout the video, because at the end, I do have another lip product we're gonna use, but this will just kind of hold us over for then. But we're actually starting with skincare, and I don't normally really do much skincare on camera. We normally jump right into the makeup, but we couldn't talk about like aesthetic, hyped up. Okay. Do not take a shot every time I say aesthetic in this video. You will be plastered. But when I think of brands like that, I think of Rhode, you know? And this brand, I've actually really been liking, okay? So the Skin Glazing Milk, I talked about this in a purchaser pass, and you know, the marketing for this was a little bit intense. Like the photos of Hailey Bieber dripping milk down her body, you know, was maybe a little suggestive, but I really like this product. I think any sort of like a milky essence or just hydrating essence like this, I have been into recently, and this is kind of right up my alley. Like I mentioned a bit in my most recent empties video, which, you know, I can leave a link down below, but my skincare direction has really shifted from focusing a lot on like exfoliating products and different acids and whatnot to really just focusing on hydrating my skin. And that's been a game changer for me. So products like this are very much up my alley right now. And this one from Rhode, I do think is worth the hype. This is not just like something that looks cute on your vanity. It does look cute on your vanity, but I also think it works well on your skin. The next brand that really comes to mind for me for like cute packaging is going to be Glow Recipe. And Glow Recipe for me, I have found the brand to be a little bit hit or miss, but when they hit, I really like it. So I would say in general, the line that comes in this pink color packaging, I really do enjoy. So this is the Plum Plump Hyaluronic Cream. This is all that I have left of this. And the cool thing about this, you can actually remove this and they just sell a refill, which is a little bit less packaging waste there, which is nice. There's also a little bit of a lower cost there when you are repurchasing it. So I enjoy that brands are focusing a bit on refills these days. This is actually one of my favorite moisturizers to wear underneath foundation and makeup. Like if I normally clip my hair back, but I thought, you know, we'll just go behind the ears and that'll work. Maybe not. But when I am like doing my makeup and I wanted to look really nice and flawless, this is the moisturizer I always reach for because it leaves me quite dewy like this, as you can see. And it's not too creamy or thick. It's very much like a gel-like texture, so I think it wears well under foundation. Like, I don't rely on this as a PM moisturizer because I like something more intense at nighttime, but during the day, makeup lays on top of this really well. I'm gonna give this a moment to set because I feel like it needs it. It's nighttime, so we're skipping sunscreen and we're going to talk about these from Drunk Elephant. So this is new. This looks very similar to the De-Bronzy, but this is their brand new launch, the Be Goldy. And this whole line from Drunk Elephant, the internet loves it. This comes in like 3 color variations. We've got a pink one that's kind of blushy. You've got the bronzer ones, and this is the newest launch. This is kind of like a liquid highlighter. I think of this so similarly to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, where you could wear it on its own. You could mix it in with foundation. You could wear it as a highlight. You could wear it as a primer. Like, it's a very multi-purpose product. but I like that it has 5% niacinamide in it. So I've used this a few times and I am liking it. And I'm thinking for today, I wanna mix it in with a foundation. So I've tried that one other time and I enjoyed it. So I figured we would mix it in with a foundation that is a little bit more matte on its own so that we can maybe get a nice in the middle glow. So this is the NYX Bare With Me Blur in the shade 5 Vanilla. Also a pretty hyped up product on the internet, I would say. So when I was prepping for this video, I was really thinking about the role that like cute packaging plays for me as a consumer. Because as much as I want to say I don't care, that's not really fully true. I think I am more enticed to buy products that look nice. And I think packaging does play a role. It's not the only thing. Obviously, like the performance is a more important factor. But it got me thinking about what I am going to call the Charlotte Tilbury effect, okay? Because that is how I feel when I'm using Charlotte Tilbury products. It's not necessarily that I think the formulations blow everything else out of the water, no. But that luxury experience makes doing my makeup so enjoyable. And if I'm wanting to just have a fun little morning or night or whatever time of day it is and do my makeup and just thoroughly enjoy it, I will reach for my Charlotte Tilbury products. And I've reviewed all the products and many of them I've shared with you guys that, you know, while I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with it, do I think it justifies the price? You know, do I think there's nothing else like it? No, they're good products. But I think a lot of times you're more so kind of, you're paying for the experience, if you will. And I think a lot of these very cute products also kind of have the Charlotte Tilbury effect where like, okay, this from Summer Fridays. Okay, why do I always want to say Sunday Riley? Sunday Riley and Summer Fridays, you could not, I cannot keep track of those two brands in my brain. Like they are the same thing to me. But with this, there's just something so beautiful about this that even when I'm out in public, like I'm putting it on and I'm like, oh, I feel so cute applying my cute little lip balm right now. Same thing when I'm doing my skincare and I'm taking my moisturizer out of this beautiful pink tub. And it's like, it shouldn't matter, but it does get me more excited to use something when I really enjoy the packaging. And I think that's especially interesting because I review so much drugstore makeup and I have a ton of favorites from the drugstore, and I think a lot of times the formulations compete very well with high-end and even luxury makeup, but the experience is a little bit different when you're getting ready with drugstore makeup because the packaging doesn't tend to be as luxe. Obviously, you're paying like half or less. And I will say, I don't think that necessarily matters to me. Like I don't mind using drugstore products, even if the packaging does feel a little bit cheap. Like I love my drugstore makeup. But I do find myself almost a bit more drawn to using my products that have really beautiful packaging. Like even the products that I have that are dupes for a high-end product. Like I could have a drugstore dupe that I find identical. And yet, if I had to choose, like which one am I gonna get ready with, I would probably choose the high-end one just because it's a different experience. Also, okay. Going back to this combo, I really like it. On its own, the Bare With Me Blur Foundation for me can be a little bit too matte, especially on my dry skin. I've said before, I think this is probably ideal for someone with oily skin, but it can just look super duper matte. But when you mix it in with this, I think the finish is really beautiful. Like my skin looks very healthy. I mean, honestly, it's probably a combination of the Skin Milk, the hydrating moisturizer, you know, it's a bit of everything, but I think my base is looking really nice. Now, the next few steps, like they're all cream, they're all glowy. And when I think of like aesthetic, hyped up products, I think of cream products. The internet doesn't like powders at the moment, which is fine. I'm a powder girly, but I really do think an emphasis on matte and powders is coming back soon. But right now and for the last few years, it has been all about the creams, especially in terms of cheek products. So we couldn't do this video without talking about Rare Beauty. So today I'll be using the Rare Beauty Liquid Highlight in the shade Enchant. I'm trying to decide how I want to apply this today. I think I might do some on the back of my hand and then just pick that up with my sponge. I would say the main way that I use that highlight is actually as a mixer. So I tend to mix it with my liquid blush. So I'll take a little bit of both on the back of my hand, I need more highlight than this. And then mix it in and it creates a really beautiful glowy blush. The effect is really similar to like the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter wands, you know? With this product from Rare Beauty, I think it is worth the hype. I really appreciate that Rare Beauty products are quite reasonably priced, to be honest. For a high-end brand at Sephora, they sit at like one of the lowest price points. For blush, I'm gonna use this one from Say, and you might be thinking, okay, wait, why not the Charlotte Tilbury blush wands? Why, you know, those probably are the internet's absolute favorite, but I wanted to like scatter around the different brands, you know what I mean? I didn't want to do like a bunch of all the same brand, so I think Say in general definitely fits in that like clean girl, no makeup that's been so trendy for the last few years. So I have their blush in the shade Chili, and in the tube it looks kind of intimidating for my skin tone, but I find that these sheer out very, very easily. So, I think I'm gonna put this on the back of my hand and then apply it with a brush. The thing about this blush formula, I think it's gonna come down to a preference. So if you want a liquid blush that's super high pigment, I don't think this is going to be your favorite necessarily, but if you're looking for something very skin-like, you see the glow that comes through on this? Like, you could definitely build this up, but it has a more sheer quality to it than a lot of liquid blushes. I do think a really nice alternative to this though, if you didn't want to spend this high-end price tag, the liquid blushes from Milani pretty much dupe this in terms of formulation. I think the finish on the two blushes is pretty much identical. I would say the opacity levels are pretty in line between the two formulas, so I think that would give you a similar effect. But again, is the packaging as cute? No, but are the formulas kind of the same? Yeah. I will also say the look that is like really trendy right now isn't my favorite look on myself. I love it on others, but I think this like hyper dewy finish can be difficult to carry in a way that doesn't look like sweaty or too oily. Like, I think it has to be a very targeted level of shine. And I would say I liked a dewy look more in my early 20s, and now I will be 30 in a few months, and I can, I can see some changes on my face. That's natural. Gravity is doing its thing, and especially like this part, I can see that my face is coming down, and so my smile lines feel a bit emphasized, my the lines under my eyes, and that's all natural and normal, yes, but I feel like when my makeup looks super dewy, it feels very emphasized, and I just don't like that as much. I know there's the idea that like dewy looks very youthful, and I think it can, but it has to be done in a really targeted way. Like for me, this dew I don't think is doing me any favors. But before I go in and powder that, we'll use some Charlotte Tilbury now. This is the contour wand in the shade Fair Medium. I like this, but I almost don't love that everything is now coming in this packaging, because I find this type of packaging can get a bit messy because you have to put your hand on here to twist it up, and now I feel like I have bronzer on my hand. But let me do a few little dots of this. I do like this. This was a huge favorite of mine a few years ago, if you remember. I'll put some on my forehead in just a moment once we blend this out. But what I really like about this formula is I find it pretty easy to work with. Maybe not right now. I'm starting to think when I pulled mine out just now, I think mine is going bad, or it has gone bad, because when I consider how long I've had it, it's probably like 3 or 4 years, and it is a liquid product, so it probably is just gone bad at this point, because it did pick up my foundation a bit over here, and normally I find this formula is really easy to work with and like a really good liquid contour. And the thing is, like, you see the shade of it as like really deep. It is weird that she only has 2 shades, but even on my fair skin, I find that this color, even though it looks super dark, it sheers out a ton, like very significantly. Like once you start blending it out, it is a very different shade. Okay, I do feel like I need a little bit of powder, so I am going to take my pink powder from Jones Road, but not much of it. Ooh, you know what? Another product that I think of when I think of like the internet's favorite, like beautiful packaging products, this is like such a delicious smell. We know the smell, the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Boom Boom Cream. I feel like other products from Sol de Janeiro have also been getting like so much buzz lately, and I want to try the sprays. I have not tried them yet, and I'm trying to decide if I want to do I think it's 40 or 68. Those are the two, like the pink one and the red one. So if you have thoughts, which one do you like more? I think I need to go into Sephora and smell them because, I don't know, let me decide if I actually do like them or not. For the Boom Boom Cream though, do I think it's worth the hype? It's a very expensive product. So you could definitely argue that it is overpriced, that there are similar options at a very different price point. But what I really like about it is the scent. And I know that Tree Hut has a pretty close dupe. I can leave that one linked down below. But I've also heard that the Trader Joe's dupe is really similar too. So I want to pick that up. There are like a few Trader Joe's dupes that I have been just itching to try. Okay, not aesthetic at all, but this has been my big like surprise recently, how much I've been loving the new brow gel from Essence. This is the Thick and Wow brow gel. It has like a lot of pigment to it, so it kind of fills in the brows, fluffs them up a bit, but it also has pretty nice hold. Another brand that I really think of for this category is Kaja, and especially the little bento boxes. I think these are adorable, especially the pink ones are very cute. My favorite, I have Toasted Caramel, and this is one of the all shimmer ones. So I'm thinking, I kind of want to do an all shimmer eye look today, which would not normally be my thing, but let's try it. So I'm going to start with the lightest shimmer and just kind of apply that on the inner portion. These are so glittery. If you like that super bold glittery look, you will love this formula. Like, you can achieve more of a scattered glitter effect if you do a tapping motion more so than a sweeping motion, or you can get more of a metallic finish if you just like brush it over. These I definitely think are worth the hype. They are expensive when you consider that it is literally 3 eyeshadows for $26, but I do find that they're on sale pretty often. I think Kaja in general is just such a good brand. Not only is everything cute, but I've had very few duds from them. One of the like biggest duds I tried from the brand, that was such a bummer because it was really cute and I wanted it to work well. The heart blush stamps, like in theory, that's so precious, but once I applied it to my cheek, it just didn't want to blend out. Okay, so I'm basically just taking these shades, like lightest, medium, and then deep, just on the eye, and then we'll kind of blend that in. I'm kind of like, can I do this with just shimmers? Do I feel like I need to come in and add a matte to the crease? You know, there really are no rules, but something always just feels so wrong to me about not adding a matte to the crease, even though, do I need to? No. Okay, so glittery and beautiful. For mascara, I can't say there's necessarily like an, oh, this is so aesthetic, this is the internet's favorite mascara. Let me know if you can think of one, but I wanted to use this one today. This is from Give, which is Gwen Stefani's brand, and I picked this up as like a point perk when I was at Sephora. This is called the Can't Stop Staring Mascara, and I do like it. It has an interesting applicator to it. You have like a little ball tip at the end of it, but I do feel like that shape is useful for getting into like the outer and inner corners. You know, I normally like 2 mascaras. Today we're gonna keep it simple and just do the one, but I'm going to kind of pull all the lashes out to the side for a different effect. Oh, also, I'm gonna leave a video linked down below from a channel called Boss Girlified, because I noticed she had a video with a similar title. It wasn't like a get ready with me, but I'm gonna leave a link down below. I thought it was really interesting. Okay, I added a nude lip liner so we could go in with this. I feel like lip oils in general fit into this category, but especially the brand Merit. I really think of the bag that Merit is like famous for. Like when you get their products, it comes in that bag. And funny enough, I saw that bag for sale the other day at like a Buffalo Exchange or something. In general, I feel like Merit as a brand, you know, I think of a lot of these brands interchangeably, like Merit and Say. Like, they're kind of all doing the same thing, you know? They're very similar products, very similar packaging. This lip oil, though, I actually do really like. Weirdly, it has like a tiny little baby applicator to it, but I think the effect is super glossy, which I love. Let me know how important packaging is to you. Do you feel like it plays a big role? Or do you feel like some of these products are actually a little bit overrated? Let me know your thoughts. But thank you so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next one. Bye.